Hello friends, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming and welcome to another Path of Exile video. Today I'm going to show you a build that seemed really cool, but I actually am going to have to discontinue, and I'm going to tell you why. So this is a really interesting build. It's inspired by a Wolfio video that showed the combination of Maw of Conquest, which makes you unaffected by poisons, and then the Golden Rule, which gives you +1 to chaos resistance per poison on you, and poison you inflict is reflected to you. So basically, the idea is that you poison yourself. And the reason you would do that, there's a couple of different reasons, but primarily we're going to be doing this so that we can gain a bunch of additional chaos resistance, and also so we can get 50 energy shield regenerated per second per poison on you, up to 250, and +3% to all max resistance while poisoned. So we're going to be using Apep Slumber in combination with it. Now, the thought process is, okay, you're going to end up having 78 all resist, and chaos resist as well goes up to 78 because it is all maximum resistances, not just elemental. So we're going to be able to get that going, plus have the option of running the Sextant mod that gives you additional movement speed based on poisons on you, which in Wolfio's video he showed makes you faster than a headhunter, which is pretty crazy. However, there's a pretty severe limitation, and I'm going to go over what that limitation is. And it's a big problem with a lot of really cool builds in this game, and that is server side lag. And the reason we get this, and in order to demonstrate this, I'm going to pull up my frame time, latency, and FPS, but you are going to see that it makes some of these builds very difficult. Any build that performs a lot of actions per second. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this monolith, and we're going to start stacking up poisons on ourselves. And you're going to see very quickly that I dropped down to 3 frames per second. Just nearly no frames per second. Can't quite get it to 0, but as you can see, I can't do anything. I have over 1600 poison stacks on myself. I have no idea what's going on, and I'm dead. So that was the demonstration, and I just want to explain kind of why it does what it does, and then I'll go ahead and explain the rest of the build just in case you want to try this anyway. And you may be able to minimize this by not using a Beano's kitchen knife, but I wanted to use Beano's just because I thought it would help with clear speed. You know, you'd get the poison proliferation and it'd go by a lot quicker. But the reason this works the way it works is because it still calculates the damage for the poison, even though you are not actively taking damage from the poison. So even though you're unaffected, all the damage ticks from all the poison are still being calculated by the server. And once you have the Assassin Ascendancy plus a lot of duration, so the Assassin Ascendancy says that 5% increased poison duration for each poison you've inflicted recently. You inflict so many poisons so quickly that it increases the duration once they stack up, along with the additional duration you get on the skill tree and from efficacy. And since you have all of that scaling poison, it's going to still calculate the numbers even though it's not actually damaging you. And when you get thousands of incredibly long poisons, I'm talking poisons that last minutes at a time, the server just kind of slows down trying to calculate this. I think this is to, you know, stop the server from melting down. If a lot of people played these kinds of builds, it would probably cause the servers to melt down, shut down, kick people off. You could probably functionally DDoS. So I assume it's some sort of built-in mechanism to defend the server from basically getting DDoSed. by the players running these kinds of builds. But a lot of the most fun builds do things like these, and it's really unfortunate. So the build itself was meant to have a lot of survivability. We do have Mind Over Matter and Eldritch Battery, and because of the regen we get from Apex Slumber, plus a lot of health regen through Beano's Kitchen Knife, Toxic Delivery, and just regen from the tree, we are able to basically have a lot more effective health than we have. Even though we are only level 67 right now, we have just about 5k effective health, and it's gonna jump up sharply when we get more life, which we're planning on getting going forward if I'm able to continue this build. Also, you gain 18% of damage taken gained as life over 4 seconds when hit. So you gain an incredible amount of life that way as well. You're more in danger of running out of energy shield. One way you could remedy that and possibly deal with the poison problem is go Trickster instead of Assassin. I feel like potentially this build might actually function better as a Trickster because you'll get more damage and you'll also get energy shield regen on kill and additional energy shield on top of that. So I actually think I might be able to fix this by simply respecking out of all of my Ascendancy points, going and running the Labyrinth again. So that'll take 15 refund points, and going over to Trickster. And I'm going to try that, see if I can salvage this build. But as it currently stands, unfortunately, this is just a fully unplayable build in its current form. And that's a shame, because I feel like if you stacked enough poisons, you could do functionally infinite damage, which would give you a lot of scaling. You would just have to scale the damage numbers up, because then you'll get more and more poison stacks as you stack more and more. And because Blade Vortex, when it's fully stacked, gets so many hits per second, you'll just stack a bunch more per second. I think there was a lot of potential with this build. But as it currently stands, it just doesn't seem like it's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead, try to respec this as a Trickster, and I'll come back tomorrow or the day after with an update on that. I hope you enjoyed. Give this a try if you want, but try doing it with maybe a little bit less duration, maybe without the Beanos, and let me know what you think. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye!